So, shall we start the program, sir?
Yes, please.
Thank you. Our foreign and Indian guest has joined. RP, resource person.
Yes.
Just wait a minute, sir. I'm joining through my laptop.
So today, incidentally, you are at home. Very good.
So incidentally, I met with two accidents.
Oh.
On the days 2 of our program, that is after Mahashivratri.
Yes.
A great mishap happened to our four-wheeler during our workshop only.
Very sad.
Very sad. And after 2 days,
who were in the car?
Luckily, myself, my wife, and children. Luckily, with experienced driver, we could able to save ourselves.
That is good thing that you all are safe.
Yeah. And after 3 days of that particular mishap, and one of my close friends, so I met with Bullet. He was riding Bullet, and I met with the accident. He was no more.
Oh my God.
And I could not actively participate. That is the reason for this particular matter is concerned.
That is very sad. Very sad.
Very sad. In this just adjacent to our university only, that accident happened to my friend.
In the campus?
Just outside the campus. Anyhow.
Yeah, I can understand.
Yeah. This is a part of our life. We can understand all these things because.
I think there is one more reason. Last year it was all lockdown, but before last year, in 2019, I had gone to Pondicherry University.
Yeah.
And their guest house is in a way on the main road. And as soon as you come out of the gate of the guest house, you are in a way highway.
Yeah.
All the traffic goes so fast from there that you have to be extremely careful. So
yes.
I can understand that. So is Dr. Douglas joining us?
No, sir. Today is out of station. So
okay.
Anyhow. Sharmaji, 1 minute. I have an urgent call from the university. Just 1 minute.
Okay, no problem. I will start.
Please proceed, Sharmaji. Please.
Yes, yeah. Okay, friends. Good afternoon, and to my dear brother, it is good evening there at his place. Thank you very much for joining us the another exciting session today. In fact, today it is very interesting. Fortunately, it is going to be a double bonanza for all of us because these two people, they are wonderful people. Really, you will love enjoy and love hearing them. They both are supreme experts in their own fields. So first, I'm very happy to introduce my dear brother, Dr. Balakrishna Munyapam. He is a professor of business administration. His specialization is human resource management in Wawasan Open University in Malaysia. I was fortunate to have worked with him. Uh, um, we were in the both in the same university there, and I still remember my days. He took a great care of me. In fact, one day he came with his own car and took me around all the Penang island, showed me all the interesting and beautiful places. So thank you, Dr. Pala. I still remember those days. You are a wonderful person. Means I don't have words to say and express my gratitude to you. And just to let our friends know, Dr. Bala, he is a highly accomplished researcher, academician, and a wonderful speaker. Means if you go to my YouTube channel, you will find some of my video recordings there where I created some training sessions for our teachers of the university there. And anytime, whenever I wanted some person, only he comes to my mind, because I will go to him and I will tell him that Dr. Bala, I need you because I want to record a video. So please come. And he will immediately say, okay, sir, let us go, like that. You know, sometimes other people, if I talk to Dr. Professor Raghu Babu, that you please come and I want you to speak, he will tell me, definitely he will tell me, sir, I need one day to prepare my presentation or not something. But Dr. Bala, you wonderful person, means immediately he will get up and from his own memory, own experience, own expertise, he will start. He will start. You just don't need to give him any time. He can speak extempore on that. And another wonderful thing, a secret about him, is that his knowledge on Ramayana, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, is much more than we means as a here as Indians who are supposed to be the land of this one. His knowledge is much more, and he can recite the shlokas of the in such beautiful way, and the language expression. I sometimes used to doubt it, and I used to ask him, no, 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 I know that you must be knowing Hindi. And he says, no, sir, I can't speak Hindi, I can't understand Hindi. But his accent and those things, they are so clear. He travels around the world on giving speeches on these things, and he has done the beautiful research relationship between the teachings of Ramayana from Mahabharata and how they can be integrated into the management practices for that. In terms of his academic outstanding, I will say outstanding, that he is uh, Bachelor of Economics from UCAM, another wonderful university of Malaysia. Then he did CIWT from Australia, MSc in HRM from Portsmouth, then DBA, this diploma in business administration from Philippines. He's certified practitioner of NLP, that is natural language processing. Dr. Bala, you may keep correcting me.
NLP stands for Neuro Linguistic Programming Techniques.
Yes,
NLP, yes.
that's a wonderful thing. And he is a certified speaker and coach with John Maxwell team of the United States of America. He's a HRM specialist and was conferred the best professor in HRM award at the World Education Congress, the Asia's Education Excellence Awards 2014 in Singapore, and then at the World HRD Congress 2017 in Mumbai. So, in fact, he knows many things about India, and perhaps he can tell me many things about the places which I may not be knowing. So, he remembers the things. He takes so much of the interest into the things. He's also been a visiting professor in human resource management and has served as an external examiner for business administration and PhD thesis in human resource management for several universities within Asia and Africa. He is a frequently honored as an invited speaker in HRM at numerous national and international conferences. In fact, I used to joke to him that that you have traveled more countries than me. So, because I used to think that only North Pole and South Pole they have left for me. I could not go there. Rest other continents and countries I have visited. But his number of visits are definitely higher than my visits into it. And he has delivered, the talks in countries within Asia, outside Asia, Middle East, Australia, United States, South Pacific, Africa, Europe, anything covered whole of the globe there. Because there is a lot of interest in Hinduism also among the people. Many people they want to understand that our teachings, and he is superb. He is the perfect person to my knowledge for that work. As a human resource management trainer and consultant, he has vast experience in conducting training and consultancy program in HRM. So if someone of you attending this session today is looking for something on human resource management, grab hold of him. He is the right person. You won't find anyone best other than him in this field. He has contributed tremendously towards HRM effectiveness for hundreds of organizations within Malaysia and Asia. So with this is a brief introduction. Actually, I can keep on talking about him. You know, means as an academician, as an human being, wonderful person. So thank you, Dr. Bala, for joining us and accepting our request. If Doctor, I see some resemblance between you and our Raghu Babu. If Raghu Babu grows beard, maybe like again. So over to you, Dr. Raghu. Otherwise,
Yes,
then
yes. Thank you, Professor Sharma ji, for introducing an all-rounder.
yes, completely agree.
And
Completely
I
agree.
consider him as a polymath who is
Yes.
having expertise in many subjects as per your introduction and the various aspects regarding Dr. Bala is concerned, including Itihasas also. He has wonderful expertise in chanting slokas and understanding the concept of all those. It is a wonderful thing. Thank you, Dr. Bala, for accepting our request on behalf of this is the 10th day of the faculty development program, which has been successfully organized with the blessings of Dr. Sharma ji and all resource persons across India and outside country also. This is the special FDP because he has selected in such a way that one foreign guest along with Indian resource person. It is like a blending. Always blending. Blending is a flavor to any particular academic program. I consider this as a honor to all of us to have you today. And with this, because the time is short and we wanted to learn more from you, that to the topic of relevance, COVID-19 pandemic period, how to cope up with the current challenges, and throughout the globe, all the people are looking at the lifeline for this particular COVID-19 pandemic is concerned. So we are sharing with online and offline, but a lifeline is much more important, I believe. Please proceed, sir.
And before Dr. Bala, just give me 10 seconds only. Let us welcome our another good friend, Mr. Atul Maharaj, Atul Priya Sharma. He is also in the session, and I will formally, hello Atul, how are you? Yes. So I will be more elaborate on you very soon. I just want everyone to see you that our younger, energetic brother is among us, and we are coming to you very quickly.
Sure, sir.
Thank you
So,
so much for joining.
so welcome,
Okay, Dr. Bala,
Atilji. Welcome,
kindly go ahead.
Atilji.
Thanks
Now,
a lot, sir.
over to Bala.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much for the invitation. Firstly, I would like to thank Professor Ramesh Sharma for invitation. And I would like to say something about Professor Ramesh Sharma because he's one of the pioneer person in e-learning. When he joined Wawasan Open University, at that time the university was thinking of embarking into e-learning to get access to more students, not within the region that we are currently operating. So he did a tremendous job in coming out with a lot of resources for the faculty, and also he conducted a lot of training for the faculty members to get familiarized with e-learning. So if you ask me, anyone who has given some contribution in terms of my learning of teaching online, actually it started with my meeting with Professor Sharma at Wawasan Open University. So that was actually in the year 2015 or 2016. 2016, yes, I remember in 2016. At that time, we were still new to online learning, because we were used to do traditional face-to-face teaching. But the online learning did not take place immediately. But I have seen within 3 years with COVID-19, everyone have moved into online learning. So we have actually learned trial and error, step by step. You didn't get what you call fully trained 100% in the delivery of online during COVID-19, but everyone goes through a process of learning. So in every subject that we are learning, every subject, we should consider ourselves as a student. So Professor Sharma said about Ramayana, Mahabharata, and all. I still consider myself as a student. Even in the field of online learning, I'm still a student. Even in the field of human resource management, I still consider myself as a student. So we all learn. And in the process of teaching, we also learn. Okay. So in this seminar, in this faculty development program, I was given a time between 10 to 15 minutes to speak. So I'm going to speak to you about the challenges and overcoming the challenges of online learning. So let me share with you the slides. Okay, are you able to see the slide here? Are you able to see the screen?
Yes,
Everyone
please.
able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, okay. This is the topic that I'm going to share with you for next 10 minutes. And after that, for the 5 or more, I think I can go more than 10 minutes, but I do not want to take a lot of time because the time given is about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. So the topic is overcoming challenges of online teaching and learning during COVID-19. Let me go straight into the issue that are being confronted by all of us, every one of us throughout the world. You can tell me that if there are any country in the world where they are not affected by COVID-19, every country throughout the world, COVID-19 has resulted in educational institutions, universities, colleges, schools across the world to be closed. So in Malaysian case, yes, during COVID-19, we have gone through lockdown. Last year during this time, March, for about 2 months, we were in a lockdown. Schools were closed, universities were closed, colleges were closed. Not only in Malaysia, globally, over 1.2 billion learners were out of classroom. So now there was a question: what can the institutions do? How can we connect with the learner? How can we reconnect with the learner during this period of time? Luckily, we are now in the age of technology, digital world. We are talking about industry 4.0. From industry 4.0, we'll be moving maybe industry 5.0. So we are in a technological world. How we can use the technology to improve and also to reconnect with the learners in terms of the teaching and learning. So we find that education, the last 1 year has changed dramatically with the rise of online learning. In fact, the institutions that were not traditionally online, were not traditionally in e-platform, those institutions traditionally in the e-platform or online learning were the open universities, open and distant learning institutions. They were the institutions that are traditional, using face-to-face traditional teachings. They also have to move into online. So teaching is undertaken remotely on digital platform. Platform that they use is not only Zoom. In the Wawasan Open University, the main platform that is used is Microsoft Teams. Of course, some of the faculty members, they use what they call Zoom, Google Classroom, even web apps. Now, with this sudden shift, some are wondering whether the online is going to persist post-pandemic. Now, we will not know how long this pandemic is going to last. Looking into the cases from country, from Delhi, numbers of cases in Malaysia, currently it has reduced from the peak that it experienced close to 3,000 to 4,000 cases per day. Now it has dropped to about 1,000 over cases per day. And currently in Malaysia, some of the states, we are in the conditional restrictive movement. That means there are some conditions when you can move, you can move around, you can travel. There is a opening of a state. Those days during MCO, movement control order, we could not travel outside the district. Our traveling can be within the district. Now we can travel in the district, but the interstate travel is still not open yet. So as the number of cases goes down, yes, we will be opening up. And to some extent, face-to-face teaching will begin. Okay, the face-to-face teaching are now, they are going back to the face-to-face teaching, face-to-face. Okay, they're looking at the stage by stage. So 70% of the teaching are still done online. So at the moment, we are more like a blended in terms of face-to-face and also online. Face-to-face is only possible for the students who are staying within a particular state. So there will not be an interstate travel. Because of the interstate travel, some of the classes we still have to take it online. So what are the challenges that not only me, all the faculty members have faced over the 1 year? Technology is one of the challenge. Not every one of us, not everybody is an expert in the field of technology. Some of the teachers, some of the lecturers, even learners have difficulty in learning the technology. We do find faculty members who are very slow in getting adapted to the technology, especially the Microsoft Team, even Zoom. Okay, I will go through with you some of the how they have overcome later on. So technology is the first. Okay, people struggle, and there is also a gap across country that is seen across country, and also between income brackets within the same country. Even in Malaysia, if you take, there are some states where the accessibility, internet accessibility is not so strong. And I'm going to tell you that Malaysia is internet accessibility overall is good, but there are some areas, some locations where it is not as strong as in a city area, major city area. So there is a problem of students in a rural area in order to connect for the learning in schools and also in the university. So that is one of the problem. Major problem that we face is that online learning relies heavily on technology. So investment in terms of technology for the learners as well as a faculty member, I think it is very, very crucial. And the other challenge that we face is that in an online environment, when you do teaching in an online environment, this motivation of the student plays a very important role. It's not only the motivation of the student, I also feel the motivation of the faculty member also very important. They need to be self-motivated, intrinsically motivated. Sometimes we find many of the faculty members used to say that in an online environment, we don't see the student's face. Many of them, they don't want to show their face. What they do is that they just log in without their video. Okay, this is quite common. Many for online classes that we experience that we won't know whether the student is around or whether the student just log in. And sometimes when we call the name of the students, we can't hear anything. So this is another factor. Another thing that you have to look into is the motivation of the learner. But of course, on a positive side, all the lectures, all the classes are recorded. Classes that has been recorded will be shared. There will be some recording. So the students will be able to view the recording. Okay, recording will be shared and it will be viewed. So that is another side. That is a positive side we can look at. Recording will be made available. The other important challenge I can see is that the major challenge is that mental and emotional health of both teachers and learners, and stress. And for the teachers, for the faculty members, the mental and emotional health is not only in teaching, but also working from home. Working from home. Even for me, and at Wawasan Open University, we are still working from home. We had to go to campus for some time during end of last year before the case started to rise, when they open up the borders, state borders. There are not 100% expected to be at workplace. So about 50% can work from home, 50% can work in the campus. So we take like weekly turns. One team work 1 week in the office, another team will work at home, and then they will take turns. But now it is back to work from home, okay, because we are still under conditional movement, no restricted movement, in particularly in state of Penang in Malaysia. So for me, I look at looking into the individual side for the teachers and also for the learners. When I want to share my experience and also experience of some of the teachers, it is just like looking at the change that we all go through. Every one of us goes through a change. When there is a COVID came, in the beginning, there was a shock. Okay, COVID cases were rising. That was, I can still remember, back in February 2020. February 2020. We heard about COVID. And then there are many people, not only in the institution, in Penang, in Malaysia, not only in Malaysia, other parts of the world, they were in a state that we call denial state. This denial, oh, COVID, that's a Chinese disease. It is not going to come here. We are not going to affected by that. So they have this, what we call a denial syndrome. But when the number of cases starts to increase, people and get frustrated because everything was closed. Government ordered the business to be closed. Some of the business are operating. They can only operate a certain period of time. And then they can't simply move across the street. So a lot of restriction, what happened, frustration. And this also affected the students and the teachers, faculty members, and also the students who cannot attend classes. So then you have to go through, many of them, even faculty member, in the beginning, when they want to go through this experiment, going through online, okay, getting accessibility even for the student. We all have gone through this period, frustration to a depression. Tell me anybody who have not gone through this period. Every one of us have gone through this period, frustrated period, depressed period. But any one of you who are able to accept it, sometimes When you are at a particular state, you know that it's not going to change within a short period of time. Certain things we need to learn to accept. When we start to accept, and when we start to experiment. So every one of us, we started to experiment. Every one of us started to experiment online, various platform. How do we use the platform? We go through learning our own. We learn from other faculty members who used to teach us. We learn from expert in the field. So we experiment, we try out new things. Even doing online teaching, last year at this time, I was still at this stage, somewhere experimenting. Lot of experimenting. We were trying out new things. We did some survey with the students and all that things. And then slowly we get into a new norm. See, everyone, whenever there is a change, we need to know that we need to manage this change in order to be back to a normal, which might not be the same, but it can be a new normal. But how long the time, it will be up to the individual. Now, for some individual, I can say this COVID-19, even for faculty members, they are still here, frustration and depression. It might be taking them a longer period of time, 6 to 8 months or even longer. But there are faculty members who are able to adapt to this quickly. So what we want is that we need to accept certain things. Certain things not we have expected, but it has happened. When it has happened, we have to accept. This is the thing. We have to move on. We have to move on. We have to experience. This is where we need to learn about adaptability. Adaptability to the new environment. Adaptability to the new norm. I'm sure even after COVID-19, this new norm will continue to a larger extent because connectivity now to the whole world, now we are able to connect. And I've seen over the years, 1 year, there are a lot of teaching and learning that are taking place across countries. I have even given talks or even given classes to countries like to India, to Vietnam, okay, and also to the Philippines. So it will be like a faculty member today. Even in India, you will be teaching classes in other countries too. That will soon happen. That's a positive sign that I can say. So I had recently did a class for Ramayana class. It took me 8 months to complete the entire Ramayana. Okay, 6 books of Ramayana was covered. Okay, so it took 8 months. All we did it online, and the participants were all over the world. They are from India, they are from US, they are from Middle East, they are from all over the world. So COVID-19, one of the challenges is that you have to look at it from the positive perspective, how we can adapt, how we can learn from it, and how we are able to take it as a new normal. See, another important thing is that any faculty member, university administrator, they should not look at this problem. They should not ignore this problem. Sometimes we do find leaders in institutions, even some faculty member, who have this syndrome that we call Ostrich Syndrome. Now, Ostrich Syndrome is a psychological what they call term to describe behavior that we deny problem, that is still in a state of denial. So we need to move away. As long as we are here, we are taking this view of an ostrich view, we will not be able to overcome. We'll still be in a stage of frustration and depression, and we keep complaining. So we should not have continue with our fixed mindset. Our mindset, we need to move. We need to know the environment. We need to see the things that are changing around us and how we should prepare ourselves, how we should be able to learn this change that will be able to help us to move. Just like sometimes every one of us, some of you might have gone through this exercise. When you look at this, what do you call color? If you are asked to say the color, not the word, not all of you will be able to say the color, because we are used to saying the words. People used to say yellow, blue, orange, black, red, green. But if you ask them to say the color, it will be very difficult for them to say green, red, blue, yellow, something like that, which is the color. So change is something that is constant. Okay, it's not only due to COVID-19, but any change that is going to come, it is all depend on us to overcome the resistance of change. Okay, even earlier I mentioned to you, challenge number one is technology. Technology is something that we can learn. Every one of us can learn the technology. Okay, and then the motivation, students' motivation. Now, sometimes we need to interact with them online interaction. We can't expect them to come face to face. So another important thing is that to be self-motivated. Okay, remove all our negativity which is within us. So in the many of you who are familiar with the scriptures, they say all the enemies are not outside, enemies are within us. The sacrifice, karma, krodha, lova, mada, matsarya, all the fear that is within us, the anger which is within us, the greed, all that is within us. So if we self-reflect sometimes, and then if we are able to see the bigger picture, I'm not going to go through with what is the bigger picture here. We should be able to overcome, and then we should be able to adapt quickly to the new norm. So this is just a short sharing. I didn't prepare much for this presentation due to the lack of time. So I hope it's beneficial to all of you. And once again, I thank Professor Sharma for the invitation to connect with all of you, for me to share some of my thoughts related to the challenges of online learning. Thank you so much. If you do have any question, I can take it from here. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Bala. You made our day. It's wonderful. And in fact, that the slide, I liked it very much. Our left brain says this, right brain says that, and how do we process it? Means it's fantastic. And Dr. Srinivas has a very kind feedback that now you are in demand. They want you for the whole session, not for 20 minutes. So be ready. We may come back to you for more elaboration. And I'm happy that means you link this session with our senses, and like the virtues means, or the vices, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Maya, everything, all these things, they're very, and the good point which you indicated is the graph, which it is completely true actually. When we see how with the progression of time, the things they move ahead, it's really. So thank you so much for sharing your practical experiences. It has been really nice talking to you. And definitely, friends, as you have indicated, that we will try to find out. Actually, the issue is of time difference. Malaysia is 2 hours 30 minutes ahead of our time. So now, if it is going to be, say, 4:40 very soon, so it may be around something.
7:10.
Yes, so it is their dinner time for them, whereas it is our tea time for us. If Professor Raghu can serve the tea to everyone, he is avoiding us, by not calling everyone to beautiful Vishakhapatnam. So thank you, Dr. Bala, and Professor Raghu.
Thank you.
If you want to say
Yes,
something,
sir. As per your direction, I will serve soft tea for all of us.
Very good, very good.
Actually, I need my apologies because I did not prepare much. It's just this before, a few hours before the session, I prepared it. So maybe in future, if you want a longer one, maybe of any of the other topics, I'll be able to do it. This is not my field of
It is like a
expertise,
starter. It is
but
like a
just sharing
starter.
some experience on the online learning.
It is like a starter or a soup before a lavish dinner or lunch.
Yes.
We will definitely have it. Thank you very much. That
Thank you.
I
Ostrich
I
Syndrome is
agree. I
wonderful.
agree because Professor Bala says I agree. Actually, his field is HRM and those areas. The online education technology per se, although he is using technology, but actually going in terms of e-learning or deep into it, there I know. So we will see in future somewhere on how, because human resources is very important not only for business studies. Means human resources goes into everything, even in our personal relations. Human resources are in there, and we would love to listen to you, Professor Bala, very soon again, when means the timing is convenient for you. We will make some arrangement for that. We want you back, we want you again. That is in a nutshell I want to say it. Okay,
Okay.
so thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Thank you. And I will leave. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, doctor. Thank
Thank
you.
So
you.
now may I say Atulji Prakat hoye? Yes, yes, here. My wonderful friend. I
Yes,
don't
sir.
know if Parveen has joined
I'm
this.
there. I'm there, sir.
Oh, okay, okay. So will you do the honors or?
I will do that. Means this is an honor, like honor in a
Yes.
way. I'll tell everyone because yesterday when you were talking about somebody special from your side, I also wanted to add the words, but I stopped myself and I'll inform everyone that I'm the proud class teacher of this gentleman in the frame who's going to take the session, and how things like complete as a circle. Like we used to believe that you become a good teacher and your students are going to return back. Now, in my case, I have returned back to Atul because he became a blogger, and I said, Atul, I want you to teach blogging to teachers. And I haven't taught him blogging, though he is going to say this thing. His introduction also says this thing when he sends it to people and people introduce him, that he took one assignment quite seriously. Dr. Raghu Babu, I gave an assignment to him, to the classes when I was teaching, because I'll be sharing that model of education through social media in this FDP as well. In that Eduso media model, which came to India through all of us, these students and me, and that model is the first model of using social media in education, specifically higher education in the whole world, and that happened 10 years ago. Now we might be having internet and everything all around, but these people, one of them is Atul, the primary leader, started with a blog, and he took the assignment too seriously and that led to his blog. And after that, where you all are in the same region, he has been the best blogger in Telangana, and he is loved around Hyderabad. There is a possibility that you might see him in one of the restaurants around you, and eating different things, and the next day his review of that popular restaurant or a dish will come. So Atul is a blogger. I have been a teacher to him, teaching communication skills in all the ethically, you say, strategically wrong ways that we redefined the subject. Atul became a blogger in 2012, if I'm not wrong, and in 2014 the class. All other classes moved out, and then
Right.
they people he joined his jobs. And I do remember the letter that he can share that link with anybody, that what was written about me to serve with love, and it was written 6 years 7 years ago. And on internet we cannot do cheating. Like there is a possibility that I can write with the hand and show a page, this was written 10 years ago. On internet it was posted 7 years ago. There they gave me a favor on a blog post. So if I introduce Atul, at present, though he's a software engineer who's making websites and doing all technical things that your students and my students have been doing, but what is good about Atul, if I introduce him, and I'll be reading this introduction for him because I know that that matters a lot. So let me read it, and with all pride. If there was an award for the most sincere student, Atul would win it for sure. After starting his first website in class 7th, he took a college assignment extra seriously, as he says, in 2012, which evolved into socialmaharaj.com, his website, his blog. the technology, travel, and food blog. Being an engineer and a management graduate as well, he understands blogging like the back of his hand, like he knows it. Now, he has won many awards for blogging, including the best blogger in Telangana state in 2017. He has conducted workshops on blogging at leading institutions and companies that have been attended by more than 500 people collectively. However, he's lying this way. One of the videos that we have on YouTube by him, which was conducted for the government college parade ground Jammu, has got more than 7,000 views. So we had 3,000 people live that day on YouTube. So that number has to be updated, Atul, with a few more zeros for you. Now, he has been featured in leading newspapers and websites for his comments on blogging and influencer marketing as well. Now, he's a newbie into podcasting as well. Now, recently, he has been featured in the list of top 10 food influencers in India by Talk Walker. The word Maharaj, which goes to his blog as well, is synonymous with the being the king of something. So he owns a blog and he owns a good command over teaching blogging. And it would be a good thing that teachers learn it from somebody who's in the domain of blogging rather than somebody who's in education only, so that we do not know make blogs like we should not make blogs only for teachers. We should teach students to go into blogging, because if my teaching can make somebody employed into blogging, if my teaching or your teaching can tell somebody that blogging is a career right now, like within during this workshop, or I'm in a session with Roshan Abbas, and there's a paper content company, like Atul knows these names. So there's a session going on there as well. So they're talking that creativity has to be a discipline. Dr. Sharma, this is such a nice understanding I got there. They say these days people are coming, but they're afraid of sharing their content. They're afraid of putting up queries. This is about the young generation. Roshan Abbas, who has been into theater, like all of you, all teachers have been the old school teachers. So he says you should be sharing things and you should be preparing to come into the creativity discipline. So Atul is going to take us to the creativity discipline, and this will also lead us to be teacher bloggers, educational bloggers, who will be having their websites maybe by tomorrow morning, on which you can put your contents, and these links can be sent to your students with a yo from your side saying that, hey, yo, I'm a blogger now. And after a couple of days, you'll be a podcaster as well. But I welcome Atul, and it's a proud feeling for me being a teacher to him a few years ago, and now somebody who's introducing him. So he comes as the leading band of the day, and I became the one who's opening him with this introductory description, not a song. Over to Dr. Sharma. Thank you, sir.
I'll just say that, Atul, do you see that Almira at the back of Parveen? In
Yes.
this Almira, he still has that danda with the help of which he used to beat all of
Yeah,
you.
he might be that way. Hmm.
Thank you, Atul, for joining us. Yeah, I won't say more because I want to hear from you now. So over to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Over to you, Atul.
Thank you so much, Praveen sir, Ramesh ji, for that introduction. It's more than how much Praveen sir is proud. I think it's a proud moment for me that I am being recognized, and I've been considered able to be doing this. So quickly, I'll just share my screen as well. So if you can just confirm if you are able to see my screen.
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. So, like I was introduced that I'd be talking about blogging and what all I have done. Today's content will be specifically towards educational use. So something which I was taught almost 10 years ago, which is what I'm using today, and that has become a very important part of my life as well. So a short introduction. Mostly Praveen sir told everything. So I started my first website in class 7th, and I've been blogging since 2012 actively, and I blog at my blog socialmaharaj.com, which is more of a travel, lifestyle, and a food blog. So, like earlier told that you can find me in any of the restaurants in Hyderabad, probably trying something, and that's what I usually do. So a software engineer by the day, a blogger, at all the other times. I have conducted a lot of workshops at Administrative Staff College of India, Block Chatter, HPP. So these all things had come in, especially when COVID came in and work from home situation started. So like Mr. Babu in the previous session, he told, because of the COVID situation, there are a lot of things, which came new to all of us, and this is one thing that I have done. Also, I would like to take a thread from what Mr. Praveen's told just right now about Roshan Abbas and that session, talking about creativity and sharing your content on the internet. So I'll just have a small story behind this. So back in seventh standard, in my school where I studied, I studied at New Era High School, Panchgani. Uh, a brief introduction about that as well. So this school was featured in Tare Zameen Par, where the entire hostel school where it was shot. So we were a part of that particular sequence. So in that school, apart from the normal subjects that we studied, we used to have a lot of vocational courses. And in those courses, we used to have things like two-wheeler mechanics and tie-dye batik, glass painting, computer science. So these all were the things which we were taught apart from the regular subjects. And that's when there was a course called website hosting and designing, which I took in seventh grade. So I always was interested in trying out new things. So I took up that course. And when it came to about why did I choose this course, of creating a website and putting it on the internet, that's when one of my teachers back then told that most of the people who are living today, especially in India, we look for a lot of things for free on the internet. So be it we would go to Google and say download free songs, download free wallpapers. We go out on the internet to do our assignments, for our homework, for solutions, for questions, for everything we go to the internet. So we are always taking things from the internet, but what are we giving back? So you might be astonished to listen that maybe how a kid in seventh standard could get something so heavy and philosophical. So that was just stuck me that I've been taking everything from the internet. Let me just give back. So that's how my blog started way back in 2007. My website was launched, then I started blogging, and it's been more than 15 years that I have been dedicatedly, sharing content on the internet to help people. So that's where I see, most of you are listening to me for the first time, but all the people who know me personally, they know that I am very particular, or I'm very passionate about sharing content. So if I meet someone, if they're doing something very exciting, my first thing would be, are you sharing it somewhere? Because I'm pretty sure whatever you have to share, this entire Earth's population, there would at least be a handful of people who would want to read that or who would want to see that. And that is where I feel, creating your own space is very important. So with that, let me just cover the agenda, what we would be talking today. I will try to have less of theory and a bit of practical over here as well. So we would start with talking about what is blogging, the basics of blogging. Then we would talk about how we can leverage blogging in the education space. We will then move on to how to start blogging, what are the things required, the checklist, and so on. And then we will move on to a live demo. So I will help you understand. I'll show you how to create a blog on Blogger, which is one of the leading platforms. I'll talk about tools and techniques, and then definitely we will go on to the Q&A section. So when it comes to what is blogging, many people have a lot of different uh, definitions in their mind as to what is blogging, especially in this age of social media. When you see people sharing photos on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, they consider that this is blogging. So let's go back in time to understand how blogging actually started and what a blog is. So a blog is a discussion or an informational website which is published on the internet, consisting of discrete, often informal, diary styled text entries. So if you see that word diary style text entries, that is bold. And that's the whole motive of having a blog. So a blog is just like a diary which you would be using in your personal lives. And just the way you write a diary with a date and you write whatever happened, a blog is similar. So you always have a date with the blog and you will write something on that particular day. And whenever you visit a blog, it will always be in a reverse chronological order. So let's say if you visit my blog today, you will see the latest article which I have written at the topmost. So blog was basically a short for weblog. So I'm sure when you have been in colleges, since you are in colleges, you would be maintaining a lot of log books. Maybe students entering into different labs or getting into the library. You have a lot of logs. So similarly, when you have a log on the internet on the web, that's how the word web log was formed. And then this term was finally coined in the 1999, which is called as the blog. And as per stats, by 2019, there were about 500 million blogs on the internet. And I'm sure as I'm speaking, there are a lot more blogs coming up simultaneously. So, how did blogging evolve? So, it is quite old. It's not something very new to this. And if I have to go through the timeline, which I'll not talk in entirety, but you can just go through whatever is shown on the screen. So it started back in the 90s when the birth of web happened, when internet came in, when websites started. The first blog essentially was open diary, where a person used to just share his own experiences, and then the term was coined. Blogging platforms were born in late 90s, almost in 2000. And in 2002, the Oxford Dictionary actually included the word blog in their dictionary. So by 2000, that blogging was actually picking up. In 2003, WordPress, which is the leading blogging platform on the internet today, that was born in 2003. YouTube came in 2005, Twitter came in 2006, and today we are in 2021. So you see, blogging is way older than what we all think. And there are a lot of people who actually grabbed the opportunity back then and they started blogging. So again, blogging is not something new. It has been there. It's just about all of us to have it in our minds that, okay, we have our content, we have something to share. And that is all what we need. If you have the passion, if you know that you are an expert at something, or if you want to share something, all you do is you go to the internet, you create a free blog, and you start sharing. So when you talk about blogs, there are different types of blogs. So you start with a personal blog, which is essentially what my blog Social Maharaj is. So personal blogs are basically an open diary, I would say. So a person who is doing anything in their lives, going out, traveling, eating, they would be just documenting that on their own blog. So that essentially is a personal blog. Second are the corporate blogs. So if you see, most of the companies today have a blog as well, apart from their own website. So why this is important is because blogs give an opportunity for the companies to interact with their customers. So what happens when you see a website? So on a website, you would essentially see pages like about us, products, services, and a contact us. Now, on all these pages, there is absolutely no way for a customer to interact. So he would probably have to drop an email or call some number to interact. But the highlight of a blog is basically that it allows user to comment. So when I'm reading a blog post, let's say by any brand, if they've written a blog post, when I'm reading it as a customer, as a reader, I have an option to comment on it. And that becomes a way for the company to interact with the customers as well. So corporate blogging is picking up quite fast. In fact, most of the startups which you see today, they definitely have a blog. And if you are searching for help or anything related to a particular company for the service or for the product, you will definitely come across their blog, while searching it on Google or any of the search engines. Uh, the third is a multi-author blog, the example of which I will show you later. So multi-author blog, in plain English as it goes, that there are multiple authors sharing content on the same blog. So unlike a personal blog where I am the owner and I'm the only one who is sharing content, on a multi-author blog, I will have few more people with me who would be sharing content on that same blog with a different author name. So these are very popular for a good reason in terms of building a community. So if I have to talk about a few women-centric websites, there are websites like Women's Web. There is website like Momspresso. So these are the websites who have dedicated blog section for them, where women from the entire world come and talk about their experiences, and they write articles on those blogs. So these essentially are multi-author blogs. And lastly, you can also categorize blogs by genre. So you have a specific travel blog where people share their travel stories, then people share about food, technology, and so on. So these all are basic ways to segregate the types of blogs. If we talk about specific to educational blogs, we would definitely put it in a category of genre. So you will have education, and under education, you might definitely have your subject expertise. So let me just open the chat because I see a few comments coming in. Okay, so we'll continue. Next one, I think the highlight of this session would be how do we leverage blogging in education, or how do we make blogs for educational use? Now, before actually diving directly into why you should be, doing it for education, let me touch upon four important reasons which I feel and I have learned over the last decade as to why everyone should be blogging, or why you should also be blogging. The first and foremost reason is that it helps you to amplify your thoughts. So, blogging essentially gives you a platform where you can share your thoughts freely. There are a lot of times that you are expert in something, but you need a platform or you need a forum where you are able to share your expertise or share your thoughts. What happens essentially is if you are sharing in a small group, the thing, whatever you have shared, might not reach the masses. So blogs give you that platform. It gives you a perfect platform to take off. It allows you to amplify your thoughts many folds. So whatever you are thinking, probably sitting near RK Beach in Vizag, you can share some of your thoughts on your blog, which can be read by someone sitting in Sydney. And that's the reach which blogging can give you. And while you do that over time, you will build credibility. So, for example, if I am a travel blogger, if I write about travel, and if I'm visiting Vizag, I can probably write about the Vizag Zoo, the Beamley Beach, Rishikonda Beach, RK Beach, the Kursura Museum, and then Araku, Bora Caves, and I can have a complete blog on travel, especially for Visakhapatnam. So, what will happen in future is that as time goes, and when people start looking for content, they would realize, okay, there is a blogger called Atul who writes specifically on Vizag, and that's how I would have built my expertise and credibility about Vizag. So that was just a small example, because I have visited Vizag a lot of times, and I have loved that place too much. Moving to the next important point is blogging allows you for a faster discovery. And why this is important is that actually one of my friends' father had told me a long time back that there are so many people in the world who are doing the same type of things. But then it's on you to brand yourself and market yourself. And that's where I feel blogging will come very handy, because when you have a blog, you would be searchable on the internet. So if I want to know about, let's say, Mr. Praveen Sharma, I just go to Google, type his name, and I will see his blogs, his podcasts, his websites, all of it coming up. So for anyone to know more about him, they just Google and they will get it, and that gives you 43% more chances of being discovered if you are on the internet, if you are blogging. So if you want to be found, start blogging, because you will be doing it actively, and then it will be easier for people to discover you. Next, I essentially, like I told, brand building. Blogging gives you a great platform to build your own brand. For essence, I am being introduced at Atul Maharaj, and that's a brand which I've built over the last decade. So synonymous, wherever I go, people just address me by Maharaj, though that's not my name, but that's a brand which has built over the last years. And they know that Maharaj talks about food. He is a foodie. He loves to travel. He is a technical person. So in fact, a lot of technical queries I respond to on Twitter. So that's a brand which you can also build. So if you are doing something which, let's say, is not related to your subject, but it is something which you are doing out of your passion, you can definitely build your brand around that. And that is again going to be a great booster for you as a person as well. And last and the most important reason why I feel everyone should be blogging is that blogging is absolutely free. You don't have to pay anything. It just requires your time and effort. So in fact, when I started blogging, it was on a free platform. Only after 2 3 years, 4 years, I moved to a paid platform where I have to pay for the services I use. But to start, it's absolutely free. So all you need is some thoughts in your mind as to what you want to share, some passion, and a little bit of time and effort. So I can understand, being teachers, being professors, being scholars, you might not be having that much time in a week, but on weekends, if you can spare just an hour to just share your thoughts, that is more than enough for blogging. To that will help you build your brand. It will help you improve your own discovery on the internet, and it will lastly help you build your credibility. So these are some general thoughts based on what I have learned over the last years as to why you should be blogging. Uh, Moving on to the specifics as to how you can leverage it for educational content. So like Praveen Sharma sir earlier also told that he giving us an assignment where all of us sharing our content on a blog. So that is just one way of doing it, but over time, there are a lot of advantages of doing that, and there are the few which I am going to be discussing with you. The first one is that you will own your content when you are blogging, when you have your own blog. And by this, what I mean to say is, if you are aware of the current situation, last night Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp were down. If you are aware, around 10:30, 11 o'clock Indian Standard Time, Instagram, Facebook, and WhatsApp, all three services were not working. Yeah. So all these three platforms weren't working at that time. And that was a heart attack moment for a lot of content creators who put up content on the internet. Because me being a content creator, let's say if I post food photos on Instagram, but what if Instagram stops working? I have lost whatever I have shared. And that is where I tell everyone why you should have your own space where you share your content. And in fact, if you go and check out my Instagram or Twitter, I have shared this exact thing which I'm telling you now on these social media platforms right in the morning, because you don't know, there are a lot of things that can come and these platforms can go off. For example, if I talk about TikTok, there are a lot of creative folks who are sharing some really good content on TikTok, but because of the reasons we all know, TikTok is banned in India. Now what happens to those people who have actually spent years and years to build content on TikTok? It's all gone in just 24 hours. It was banned and people don't have access to it. So that is why blogging helps, because you own your content. And that is exactly why I'm saying, for any purpose, be it educational or general personal purposes as well, when you have a blog, you are the owner of the content. You own whatever you share on the internet. So everything is under your control. It's nothing like, if a platform shuts down, you lose everything. No, when you have posted the content, you are the rightful owner of it, and no one can actually copy that content as well. So that's the major reason, or rather the first reason why you should be doing it. The second reason is it becomes your online hub. And that essentially is that when you have all your content at a place, you are essentially building your own library, an online library for yourself. So even in future, as a teacher, if you want to refer to something which you have shared, or if you want to give out an example, everything is put up on your blog, so you don't have to waste time. Just go to your blog, enter the comments or enter the terms in search, and immediately your old article will feature, which you can use for as a ready reference. And moreover, from a student's perspective or for a third person's perspective, they can see what you have been doing over time. So let's say if you are teaching a subject like physics, well, let's say talk about geophysics or anything of that sort. When you start creating content and putting up on your blog over a period of, let's say, 1 year, if you are sharing 2 blog posts a month, you have 24 high quality research based blog post on your blog. So anyone on the internet, if they want to know who is writing about physics or geophysics or geospatial sciences, they know that Mr. XYZ or Mrs. XYZ is having a blog. And that's where people will come and they will see the work you are doing. And who knows that it might open doors for some really good opportunities. So that is why you should be having a blog. uh, Obviously the next point is digital footprint, and like Praveen sir earlier also told, whatever you post on the internet, it will be there. Even if you delete it, there are trace backs and people can definitely find out what you have been doing. So a digital footprint is basically your online personality, what all you have been doing on the internet. So immediately, for example, if you go and Google my name, if you Google Atul Maharaj right now, you will know exactly what all I spoke now, or the introduction which Praveen sir gave. This everything is present there. So for anyone who is new, or for anyone who wants to know what I have been doing, or if someone wants to do a background verification, it's an open book. Everything which I have been doing on the internet, it's there. People can just go and read. And if they feel that I am lying or my personality is different, they can take a call. But then all the content is there and my footprint is there. So similarly, all of you, if you are using blogs for your personal purposes or for your classes, for your students, that digital footprint will give out a message that you are an educator, you are a scholar, you are an expert, and slowly and steadily you will build credibility over time for that particular subject. Even though you are an expert, but then you would be sharing that expertise with a lot more people, which I will come to the next point. uh, you will also build your classroom community. So in a class, physically you are restricted to a smaller amount of students. Whatever knowledge you are sharing in your classes is only being imparted to those 50 to those 40 people in your class. But what happens when you go outside the class? A blog will give you a great way to connect with your students outside the class as well, and it's a very fun and engaging medium, I feel. Because I'm sure that you could probably create videos and podcast, which you'll learn about in the later sections. But those are really time consuming, and being a scholar, you can definitely spend a little amount of time to create a particular blog post for something which you would have taught in class. So usually, when you're teaching something in class, you have a very limited time with you. So once you are nearing the end of the class, you can tell your students that, okay, this is our blog, and this is the extra items which I wanted to share, which is on the blog. You can just post it, and for students, it becomes a great medium, because whenever they are free, they can visit the blog, they can read through it, they can even give comments, ask questions. So it's a very engaging and interactive way to build your classroom community outside the class as well. uh, and then obviously your global network. So like I told earlier as well, that you might have a 40 people class where you are teaching, but when you have a blog, you're actually teaching to millions of students around the globe. Because definitely this one subject would be taught in some other part of the world as well. And learning is something which is very personal. So for example, there are 5 maths teachers in a school, but for me as a student, I might probably understand one teacher's teaching better than the other. So that's just my personal choice. But for others, some other teacher would be good. So similarly, if you are an expert in a particular subject, and if you share your content on the internet through your blog, what it will enable is that there might be some person somewhere in the world who would be able to connect with you and understand the way you are trying to teach things. So if it's a very complex physics subject which he or she has not been able to understand that well from their professor, he might just stumble upon your blog while searching about that on Google, and might even connect with you saying that, okay, this is something which I understand really well. So your teaching style, the way you write, the way you try to explain, might be able to connect with a very wide audience, which is literally unthinkable. So it gives you a global network. The next point is, it is your voice. So combine everything from your expertise, from your subject areas. When you start sharing your content, it becomes your voice. You become a champion. You are already an expert, and you are just building on top of it with every article you post on the internet. And over the years, people will know that, okay, they will regard you as an expert in that. So again, coming back, if you are a physicist or talking about astrophysics, there might be a day that when there is some launch or some space shuttle launch, they might come to you for comments. That because you have developed that credibility, that expertise, and your voice is very important on that particular space. And that all has come through blogging. If you are consistently blogging, these are the things that you develop over time. And lastly, definitely it will give you better ICT skills. Since we all are currently working from home, technology is something which we are using extensively. So when you start blogging, you understand a lot of things about the internet. So you don't just learn blogging, but there are a lot of things that are associated with it. So you will learn those tools, you will understand those processes, and over time you will also improve your tech skills, you will improve your ICT skills, which will help you to do things more faster, and you will be more productive when you are using technology for whatever purpose you would do. So these were a few major things, I feel, which is why you should be using it for your educational use. So if I can show you the site which we were talking about. So right, if you see this here, this blog is amitycs4.blogspot.com, and this is what we had done in 2012, 2014 is when we created this blog. And this was an assignment which I took extra seriously, like Praveen sir told. And this was an assignment which he gave. So this was the blog created by our class, and we were given assignments to publish one blog post as a calendar which was given, and we were actually marked on that particular blog post which we gave. So for example, if you see in 2014, let me just go to February. So these are the blog posts what people had shared at that time, and this was the same time when we all graduated. So if you see here, someone has written an article about 4 years at Amity, and this is what they have done. And here, if you see, it has been very interactive as well. So there is some comment someone has given, the author itself is there. Now, if someone wants to know about Vasundhara, they can just Google, and probably they will learn here that, okay, this is what she had written. And if you see, these were the contributors for the blog. So you see, this has become a very engaging platform for us back then. And even when sir told about us writing a letter to him, this is what we wrote in 2015 to sir with love. This was the farewell which we gave him through this blog. And yes, this is what we had shared. So this is an example of a multi-author blog where you have multiple authors, and these authors are as contributors, so all of them can contribute and share articles. So similarly, you might have a lot of departments in your colleges. So each department can probably have a blog where the teachers or the professors can share their own content, and that will become a very specific, very specialized hub of niche content, which will be very helpful to not only your students but a global audience as well. And again, it will help you build your own brand as well when you are sharing such content. So coming to the next section is how do you start blogging, or how do you start a blog? So the first and foremost thing is identify a topic or a subject. So if you are doing it at a professional level for your class, then usually it would be the subject that you are teaching, most likely. Or if you are passionate about some other subject, you can just choose that topic. This is a very important and a critical step, because this is what is going to fuel your blogging experience or your blogging career at a later point of time. So if you say that I'm going to start a blog about chemistry, where you will share content related to chemistry, you will be driven by that. That will drive you to create more and more content and share it with the world. So it is very important for anyone to spend a lot of time to identify the area where they want to share content on. Once you have that in place, Then you need to identify a name for your blog. That is how people will find you. That is what will be the address to your blog as well. So in my case, the topic was general lifestyle, so I talk about technology, travel, food. The name of my blog is Social Maharaj. Why I went with that name was basically, it doesn't give you a message that this blog is about a specific type of content. You can find everything under the sun at the socialmaharaj.com blog. So similarly, you have to identify a name for your blog which is probably unique, or it tells more about what people can expect from that particular blog, or it essentially just talks about the subject or the topic which you are going to write about. Third would be a domain name. So domain name essentially is the URL which you write. So when you go to your browser and when you type www.google.com, so google.com is a domain name. So similarly, when you are planning to start your blogging journey, apart from identifying a name, you also want to identify or choose a domain name as well. So 99% of the time, the name and the domain name are similar. So in my case, the blog name is Social Maharaj. The domain name also is socialmaharaj.com. But many times they might be different as well. So suppose there is a website called We Work Remotely. That is the name of the website. But their domain name could be wwr.com. So that is where the difference can come in. So it entirely depends on you whether you go with a shorter domain name or rather a different domain name from the name of your blog. That's completely your choice. But as a suggestion, I would suggest to have both of them same so that it becomes easier for your readers to remember about your blog as well. And lastly, you need to choose a platform where you need to blog. There are two major platforms which I will talk about. One is WordPress, and second is Blogger. WordPress, as I mentioned earlier, is a platform which was started out in 2003. It was born in 2003, and it is a very popular blogging platform. So if you can see my screen, I am browsing the website of WordPress.com. So these both platforms don't require you to be technically advanced. If you can just uh, if you just have basic skills, computer skills, in which you can browse the internet and probably send emails, that's all is required to create a blog, which I'll show you in the next step as well. So all you need to do is just drag and drop items, and you will get beautiful features coming in, articles. You have a lot of themes. So essentially, you will not be spending time on doing anything techie. You don't need to be a techie to start blogging. It's just that if you have some skills, you can leverage that to build your blog. So if you see, this is WordPress. You can choose your colors, you can choose fonts, it'll give you graphs, it'll give you statistics. It even has a mobile app. So both WordPress and Blogger have their own mobile app. So you can use it on iOS, Android, your iPad, or any other device. So it makes much more easier for you to create a blog post. So if you are traveling somewhere, you have time on hand, you can just open that app and write a blog post and save it in draft. So that's what actually I do. So whenever I'm flying to a place, I have 2 hours to kill on a flight, I have a lot of topics in mind. So I just write those content in these apps and save it. And it just syncs with the internet. So whenever I'm home, I just launch my blog and I see all those drafts which I have written. So with these apps, it becomes very easy for you to blog. And secondly, it is a very great utilization of time for you. Uh, so this is what WordPress is. If I have to show you Blogger, Blogger is a service given by Google. So it is a Google product. And similarly, just like WordPress, you will see a lot of DIY stuff. You can create things on your own, drag and drop widgets, drag and drop text. You can create your blog. Both of these platforms give you a free domain name. I will talk about it in the next step. Uh, then you can also get a lot of statistics. Both provide you from where your readers are coming, what post of your blog is actually famous, which is being read more. And then you will create your own community as well. So like I showed you on the Amity CS4 blog post, that you'll have a lot of authors which will become contributors, and then when readers from across the world they read, they give comments. You essentially are building a network out of those. So this is what was about Blogger and WordPress. So before I go into the live demo, do we have any queries, questions on the chat? Okay, I don't see anything as yet. Okay, so I will go to the hands. Okay, so Dr. Ravi asked which is better for faculty. So, sir, I think it's again on your own choice. Blogger will be very easy for you because it has a very limited amount of customization and personalizations. So that will be an easier platform. And if you're using a Gmail account or if you're using Gmail, you can integrate it very easily. So it is very seamless in terms of creating it and starting a blog, which I'll show you now. It's very easy. WordPress, on the other hand, I won't say is tough, but then it gives you a lot of features. So you will be spending some time in identifying the features that you need. So if you want to change a particular theme, if you want to uh, if you want to share if you want to create a logo, if you want to create a different a widget, a clock, sliding images, so all these options will be given by WordPress. But you will spend a lot of time doing that. So if you want to create something which is very quick, I would suggest go for Blogger. But if you want to create something which looks very good and you have time on hand to create it, then you go for WordPress. So I hope I answered your query, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
The next question. Thank you, sir. The next question is by Rudresh, and he's asking how to create your own blog. So Rudresh, we'll just cover it now. So I think let's just deep dive directly into how to create uh, a blog. So just 1 second. Yes. So now you would be able to see my screen again. Can anyone confirm?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Either
okay.
in chat. Okay. Okay. Thank you. So, like I told, I will give a demo on Blogger. So this is what you will see when you just go to Blogger. So this will be your first step after deciding your topic, the name of your blog, the domain name. So after you have decided these three things, the next step would be choosing a platform, which we are going through with Blogger. So all you have to do is just hit blogger.com and you will reach this page. Then you need to click on this button called create your blog. When you click on it, it will ask you to log into your Google account. So I have already logged in through other account, and this is what you will see. This is a the Blogger's standard control panel. All you have to do is you have to click on this left side bar, which is says your blogs, and you have to click on new blog. So like I told you, we need to choose a name of the blog and a domain name. So the name I will give you is, so I give, okay, I give this name as AUFDP March. Let's give 21 as well. So this becomes the name of my blog, no, or rather we have it this, let's have this, Learn Blogging with AU. So this is the name of my blog. The next step is choosing the URL, which I spoke about, the domain name. So this we will have AUFDP March. So this has to be a unique name. So if you see here at the bottom, it says this blog address is available. So you cannot have two blogs with the same URL on the internet. So this is a unique name, which is aufdpmarch.blogspot.com. So this will be the URL of our blog. All I have to give is click save. Once I do that, it will show a processing message here. And immediately once it is done, it will tell me your blog is ready. Now, if I go to here and if I actually try to search, what did we give? aufdpmarch.blogspot.com. So if you see, our blog is already ready. This is the name we gave, Learn Blogging with AU. And this is our URL, which is aufdpmarch.blogspot.com. So I will put this in the chat as well, so you all can also visit it. So with this your blog is ready. This is the URL. You have a title. The name of your blog is Learn Blogging with AU. If you want someone to visit your blog, you will share this link with them, which is aufdpmarch.blogspot.com. So in your case, it will be different based on, if you're choosing a subject, if you're choosing a topic, the name, the URL can change. But this is all you need to do to create a blog. So our blog is ready. Now let us dive into the other things about blogging. So like I told, this is your control panel where you would be posting articles or blog posts. So right now, if you see, our blog is empty. If you go there, you don't see anything. It also tells us there is nothing here. So essentially, when you talk about a blog, there are two important things. One is a page, other is a blog post. So page is something which won't change over time. So things like about us, contact us, details on this page don't change every day or every month. So we create these as pages, but everything else which we would be creating would be a blog post. So what I'll do is, on the left hand side, you see this menu. You will have posts, stats, comments, earnings, pages, and so on. The first thing I already highlighted is post. And on top of that, you will see a create new post or a new post button. I simply click on it. It will tell me creating new post. And this is your layout. So this is where you would be actually writing your blog post. So first thing is, you need to write the title of your blog post. That is important. So every blog post has a title and a body, which can have images, YouTube videos, whatever you want. So let us say, so this is the title of the blog post, which will be first blog post from AU. On this blog, this is a part of the FDP March program at AU Vizag. Vizag is a beautiful place. So if you talk about how much you can write here, that completely depends on you. You can write 4,000, 5,000, 2,000 words, or you can just write whatever I have written. But the best practice would be to have at least 300 words. That is the minimum you should actually have. So once you have done this, you can even format your text. So if you want to keep this as bold, so you select it, you have a bold option on top. This text has become bold. If you want to highlight Vizag, you select highlighter and you choose yellow color and you get it. So if you have used any email editor, if you're using Gmail or Outlook, or even if you're using Word to create documents, I'm sure you would be aware of all these particular symbols or all these particular options. So once I do this, you have an option to click on preview. So how it will look after you have posted it. So this is how it will come. This is your title of the blog post. This is the time or the date which will be mentioned. So like I told you, date is very important when it comes to blogging. So it will always be there. And this is going to be our content. So FDP March program, which is in bold, Vizag, which is in yellow. So let's say you are now satisfied with this blog post and you want to publish it. I'll just hit the publish button. It will ask me, do you want to publish? I say confirm. And that's it. Your blog post is published. So if you go and refresh this page, you will see first blog post from AU. So now we have created a blog. We have created a blog post as well. So if anyone wants to read, they can just click on the title the blog post will open. And like I told that this is a very interactive platform. By default, it will give you a comment box as well. So if you are already logged into your Google account, I have already shared this link for the blog in the chat box. Go to that, click on this blog post, you will see a comment option. So if you see, we didn't do anything to create this box, to create a comment box. It is all done by Blogger for you. So all you did was you just created a title, you created text, you input the details what you wanted, you formatted it, and then everything else Google will do. So if someone wants to share this, they'll just click on this. They can share it on Facebook, Twitter, they can share it via email. So you see how easy it is. You don't need to be technically advanced to do all these things. It was super easy. So what we do now is, let us edit our existing blog post. So let me refresh this. So if you see here, someone has already stats. If you see, so 3 people have viewed this blog, and there is already one comment. If I see here, so if I go to comments, if someone has commented, see, someone has written a comment. Hi sir, it's visible. Dear Atul Maharaj ji, this is really wonderful. Thank you so much. So by default, what happens is all the comments will be sent to you as a moderation. So they won't be visible on the site until unless I do that. So that moderation is a default setting. So you can change the setting as well. So right now, if you see, it is not moderated. So anyone who puts a comment, it will directly feature under your blog. But if you want to say that, okay, before it is published on the blog post, you want to moderate it, or you want to see, or you want to approve what they have given as part of comment, you can do that setting as well when you come to the comment section. So here, if you want, you can remove the comment, you can mark it as spam, you can delete the comment. And if you want to reply, you can just click here and you can just give your reply. Publish. So here it will ask me to log in because I am not logged in, but if I just come and do it over here, I can definitely give a reply over here. So now we have 3 comments. So see, people are replying. There are, so this is coming as unknown because they are not logged in with their profiles probably, but yes, so I just give thank you and publish. So if you see, we created a blog. I have given a comment also. People are commenting. I'm giving a response. So for all these things, because I'm the owner of the blog, I will get email alerts as well. So anyone, when they comment something, I will get a email which says that, someone has commented. So let us go and edit this, and I will show you how you can add, let's say, images. How you can add YouTube videos to this as well. So I'll just click on this. So now we are back to the blog page. So let me just talk about places to visit in Vizag. So if I write this, and if you want, let's say, a list, if you want a bulleted list, you click on these 3 dots and come here. So you can start with RK Beach, you can write Beamli Beach, you can write Kailash Giri, it's my favorite place. Then INS Gursura Museum, which I feel everyone should visit. If you want to go shopping, maybe the market. And yeah, if I am a vegetarian, I'll probably say I want to eat a daspala, or maybe
Andhra University.
Yes, definitely. So this can be a place. This will be a place to visit. You have your parks. You have all those things. So we are just given these places. So these are the places which you can visit. I can bold and format this. Now let's say you want to add an image. So all I'll do is I'll go to Google for now, and I'll write so this images have come. Let us choose this one for now as an example. So I click on open image in a new tab. So if you see, this image is open here. All I do is I'll copy this URL. If you see, I'm highlighting this, we'll just copy it, come here, and you click on this option which says insert image. I click on it, And then you have four options. So first option is upload it from your computer. So let's say if you are using your computer and you have an image on your computer in some folder which you want to share, you choose this option, then you will get a normal option to upload it. If you are using Google Photos on your phones or on your computers, if you have uploaded some photos on Google Photos, you can use that option. If you have already uploaded some photos on Blogger, you can use this option. But currently we will use it by URL. So basically you are using someone else's images. So I'll give by URL. So this window will come up and all I have to do is paste the URL over here. So this was the image that we chose. I'll just click on select and this image will be here. Now, if you see, this image is huge. It is going beyond the content we have written. So I can click on image size and let's say I will give medium. So this image has come. I will click on update. So the moment I click update and I refresh the page, you will see this list is here. This image is here. So we have learned how to create a list, how to add an image. Let's say you also want to add a YouTube video of Vizag. So if I search, let me take it from Google itself, and I type, let me see if this is here. So let's say let's just pick up some video by this channel. All you have to do is copy this URL of this YouTube video, come to your blog, and second option is an insert video. Again, the option to upload it from your computer, to use it via YouTube. You can even search it on YouTube from here, or you can simply paste the URL. The moment you do it, the video will come. All you have to do is select the video, click on select, and the video is here. Click on update. It will update, and all you can do is refresh, and this is your YouTube video.
Yeah, let's wait. I think it is temporary disconnect. So friends, you have now seen that, in fact, this blogspot is very useful, and it gives you a lot of feature, means a lot of power to you where you can. Okay, Tulsi is back. Yes.
Sorry, there was some internet issue.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yes. Please continue.
I'll just share my screen. I'm sorry for that.
No, not at all. Not at all, please.
Yeah, so I think we were here. My screen is visible, right?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I'll just refresh this. Yeah, so if I want to add a link, I will add a word. I will go over here and give the URL of the blog or link where you want to connect it to. And all I'll do is click apply, and the link is there. I click on update. Changes have been made. You refresh, and you will see a link over here. When you click on it, whatever blog URL you have given, that blog will, or that website will open. So you see how easy it is for you to create a blog post add links, add images, add videos. And similarly, all you can do is, every time you want to add something new, just click on new post and add blog post to it. So apart from that, I think we still have another 15 minutes. I'll take 5 minutes to talk about some of these features which you might be interested in. Stats is, definitely how many people are seeing it. So if you see, there have been 12 people who have seen this blog or this blog post. Comments, I already told you, it will show these are the comments which people have given, which you can see here. Earnings, I'll skip. Pages, like I told you, we have not created any pages now, but just like how you create a blog post, you can even create a page as well. Layout is basically changing or adding few things on your blog. So if you want to add things like, let's say, a calendar, if you want to add a calendar somewhere, you can use this area. But again, this is more about personalization, so I will skip this. But yes, you can spend time if you want to explore. The next part is theme. If you want to change the theme of your blog, like if it looks like this, but if you want it to look something else, so Blogger gives you a lot of themes to start with, which you can just click and change. So let's say if I want to change it to this theme, I'll just select it and I'll click apply. Or you can even preview it, but since we are just doing it now, I'll just directly click on apply. You refresh it and you see it has changed to a new theme right now. So if you go and refresh the blog post now, you will see a different theme. So, there are like 20, 30, 50 themes for you to choose from. You can just click on it and the theme will be applied. So again, that's a very personal choice as to what theme do you want. The next important option is settings. So in settings, we have given a title. You must also give a description as to what this is. So once you have created a blog, make sure that you give some description which is describing what this blog is about. So this is helpful when people will actually search for your blog on Google or on Microsoft Bing. So it helps them. Blog language, it is English. But again, if you're planning to write in your local language, if you're planning to write in Telugu, you are most welcome to write in, because I attended a web conference by Google a couple of years ago, and they are predicting that local languages might be more important or visible in the near future, because the next wave of people who are coming on the internet will be from tier 2 and tier 3 cities. So they would first search for something in a language which they like or which they understand. So if you want to do it in Telugu, you are most welcome to do it, because many people have a notion that, okay, blogging means I need to write in English, but that's not the case. You can do it in any language you want. So you can choose a language over here, and then while you are typing a blog post, most of the Android phones or iPhones, they have a different language keyboard, so you can use that and create a blog post. We have shown the blog address over here. These are not required to change anything. Next thing important is permissions. So permissions in the sense, the first thing is blog admins and authors. So right now, since I have created the blog, I am the admin and I am the author. But if you want to add more people, like when you talk about multiple author blogs, when we talk about that, what is important is you want to add more and more people to your blog. They can be as authors. So those people you can add over here by clicking on invite more authors. So all you have to do is give the email address of that person. The email will be sent, that person has to accept it, and it will come under the pending author invites. So this is very important if you want to restrict in terms of who can write on this blog. So if you have more than 1 or 2, 3, 4 people, if you feel they need to be as an author, this is where you will do those changes. Similarly, reader access. So if you want this to be accessible publicly, by default it's public, so anyone on the internet, if they have the URL, they can read it. But if you want to make it private just to the authors, so let's say if you're a group of 15 people and you want only those 15 people to be able to read it, you can make it to private only to authors. And also if you want only specific people to read it, you can change it to custom readers. So these are few permission options which might be very relevant to your case, which you can play around and understand how you can use. The other things, even like when you go to comments, you have an option which says who can comment. So I'm currently by default it will select anyone who has a Google account, they can comment. But if you want that only anyone can comment without a blog or without a username on Google, then you choose anyone. If you want only the members to comment, you can choose that option. So it gives you a lot of options. Even if you see last, if I check, comment moderation. So right now it is never. That is why when you are commenting, immediately the comment is visible. But if I say always, whatever you comment will not be approved until unless I see it and I approve it, because me being the blog admin. So those settings can be changed. Apart from that, there are not many things which you probably need to do when you are just starting out. So yes, that's all about the hands-on in terms of the blog, how to create it, how to do a blog post. So I will just open chat and see if do we have any questions related to this. If anyone has any query, you can put it in the chat or you can ask as well regarding whatever demo we have done.
Yes, friends, please share your questions or your observations. You may like to think of it. Actually, this I created long back, and at that time Voki was free. Voki
Yes.
is a very good application which creates an avatar, and you can add your voice into it. So here it is Voki, but now the Flash player is no more. So
yes, understood.
This was the blog when I was director of distance education in Guyana, which is in South America.
Okay.
Here I created this for a no, Ravi, there is no, you can see my blog. There is no expiry.
No expiry date.
You can see I created it there for the teachers to train them in technology. But it still exists. So this is the proof. You can see no expiry.
Yes, that's what I was saying when we talk about digital footprint. Once you have it, until unless you delete it, it is going to stay there forever.
You have to be very careful. If you want to say something against Modi, don't say it openly. If you think that your page, it is not deleted. It will still be there. So be careful with that.
Right. So that is one.
So one query I have. Sir, can I ask?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Sir, for teacher community.
Yes, sir. Please.
What should we make sure about the blog page for teachers community?
Can you please rephrase it, or maybe tell that in more detail? I mean, what exactly?
What should we have on display page? What features we have for teacher community? What are the important things?
Okay.
Dr. Ravi.
Yes, sir.
Anything which is passion or passionate.
So see, if you are telling about content, then it can be anything which you are doing or which you are like sir told, passionate, or what your topic is. But if you are asking about features in terms of extra options on the page, then probably things like a share button, which will be helpful for people to share. Follow by email is one option which you can give. So this is an option which is already available. So if I just enable and save this, if you go here, you will probably see a follow by email. So you see a subscribe button now. So this is a button which you can keep for your site as well. So whether it's your students or other teachers, if they want to get updates that whenever you post, if you want that to happen, you can just enable this option. So things like this, it actually completely depends on you what you want to do. That's your freedom. But subscribe is a good option because that will tell your readers that okay, he has posted something new. So they will the moment you click on that publish button, they will get an email saying that they have published something, so that they can directly come there and read and interact with that probably.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And also there was. Yes, sir.
Now his question is about image and video with copyright.
Yes, sir. So I'm coming to that. What I will do now is first things, there are a few tools which I will suggest. The first tool here is Pexels, which is essentially about images. So what we did now, when I went to Google and pulled up an image, that is not the right way to do, because you will have a lot of copyright issues which may come, because initially, when people start blogging, they don't understand these legalities. But then if you're just using any random image from Google search, what will happen is, someone can even file a claim that you are using their image without permissions. So that is where this tool, which is called Pexels, this is a free tool which gives you royalty free images. So whatever images you are taking from here, it is completely free. So let's say if I'm searching India, these are all free to use images. You don't have to give any attribution. All you have to do is, when you're using this image, you just have to give saying that, okay, this image is provided by Still Pixels. So all you have to do is go to pexels.com, search your topic, and you will get some relevant images. You can just pick up these images similarly, like we did getting the URL. You can take that and use. So in that cases, you will not have any issues when it comes to copyright. Right, like Praveen sir told, Pixabay, Unsplash, these are other similar websites which gives you royalty free images. So even Pexels will give you royalty free videos as well. So if you want to use some explanatory videos or just a thematic video, not actual ones, probably from YouTube, so either if you have time, you can shoot it yourself, or you can just use any of these free videos as well. So that is one. Next tool which I'll talk about is Canva. If you want to create images, it's an app available for Android and iOS as well. So if you want to take an image, write some text on it, give some filters, give some effects, Canva is another tool which will help you. The third tool which I recommend everyone using is Grammarly, especially if you are writing in English. This is a spell check and grammar tool. So every time you write, it will actually highlight simultaneously the tense, if it is correct or not, the noun, the verb, if you have used it correctly or not. So the free version of Grammarly is pretty helpful in whatever blogging related task which you would be doing. So and apart from that, Google search is obviously there, which can help you with a lot of things. So these are three tools which will help you to create better blog posts, with images, and grammatically you will have correct. The next important step is how to promote it, because once you start writing, you definitely want the readers to read your blogs. So you definitely can start with social media. That's a very good place to promote your blogs. So you can use Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn as a professional network. So if you are creating a blog which is about your expertise, your own subject, you can share those links on LinkedIn with your professional community, so they are aware of your new blog. They spend more time, they come to your blogs, they read, they engage. So the first easiest way to do it is through social media. Second, definitely your messaging apps. You can share the links through WhatsApp, Signal, Telegram, whatever apps you are using. Third would be word of mouth. Your friends, your family, your office colleagues can spread the word about your blog. Email newsletters are a very good way to share content about your blog. So what you can do is you can prepare a free newsletter. There are a lot of tools available for it, but if you want, you can spend time and create a newsletter which you can send to the readers of your blogs regularly, so they are aware of what is happening on the blog. uh, I have Mr. Ramesh suggesting MailChimp. Yes, MailChimp is a very good, very easy tool to create newsletters. So we can definitely look into it, but again, that is a separate topic altogether. So we will, have it limited to this. And with that, I come to the end of this session. And if you have any questions, something related to this, we can take it. What I will also do is I will request all of you to uh, share your feedback related to this session with me. Meanwhile, while you are thinking about questions, I would paste this link in the chat so you can uh, send me your feedback. And if you have any questions, please feel free to put it in the chat box as well. And I would be very glad, very happy if you are actually creating your own blogs, maybe by the end of this session or by tomorrow. If you are actually creating it, I would love to see those blogs, and probably give a feedback, give you a boost, if you need. Also, if you have any questions or queries related, you can definitely drop me a mail to my email address, atul@socialmaharaj.com. That is my blog, socialmaharaj.com. And you can connect with me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. This is my username @Atul Maharaj. So even in
Podcast
future,
link.
if you have podcast links, sir, it's available on my blog, so you can go from there as well. So that's all I had. And if we don't have anything, we can, or if you have any questions, queries, I would really be happy if you can spend that 1 minute and give your feedback on that link, because that is what will help me improve in future as well.
You are already super.
Thank you so
Yes,
much, sir.
yes. No, this has been a wonderful. In fact, I don't know if somebody was asked or not, but friends, please see the beauty of his presentation slides. This is a way to learn to all of you. And when I was looking at his presentations, I was thinking of Steve Jobs' presentations also, or even for that matter, even Sundar Pichai. Your presentation should speak volume and immediately take it to your audience that what is coming ahead for you from there. So you see, it is simplicity at its best. Means there is no hi-fi things or all the possible colors of the world, put it into one slide, and all the whole of the Wikipedia, put it into the one slide, everything. The what is needed only, it is coming into the slide. So you should have learned many things today from his presentation, not only blog making but also presentation making, and the way he speaks, wonderful. I was thinking, are you tired, Atul? Because you have been constantly smiling all the
No.
session. I think your smile muscles must be tired now, but he is not tired. He is not tired. He never.
I can go on and on
Yes.
if I have to talk about blogging.
So, and that makes a wonderful teacher. This is the way
Thank you
we,
so
we
much.
need to be have our online presence. So that is a quality of a super teacher. But I think credit goes to our dear Praveen Sharma.
Yes,
because he is the teacher. So let us pay our regards to the teacher.
Thank you, sir. And I'll acknowledge
absolutely,
it.
sir.
Yes. Over to you, Raghuji. You are
Yeah,
hiding somewhere. Yes.
I am here,
Okay.
sir. And to save this bandwidth, I am video is off.
Yes. Okay,
So
friends, anyone who wants to express their sentiments, their observations, you can say. And I also request that kindly provide your feedback to the link which Atulji has shared with you. Means it won't take more time. Hardly, I think, maximum 1 or 2 minutes.
Yes.
There it is short. 4 5 fields are there into that.
probably Atul Maharaj is the youngest amongst all the participants in this particular workshop is concerned.
Yes,
Isn't
sir.
it?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, Time is precious. Uh, Teachers are prominent, and the technologies and the tools are much more important. We need to use them properly. And while teaching, we used to add flavor to the students. They used it to spread fragrance. And few of them, like Atul Maharaj, spread fragrance. And Parveen, where are you? Dr. Parveen.
I'm very much here, sir. Present.
Yeah. For today, Atul is the teacher's teacher.
Yes, he is.
Uh, and congratulations for having a nice student, for shaping, molding, because it's all depends on the teacher who has influenced. I am here because of my teacher, Professor Naman Krishnamurti Garu. He is presently 85 years old, staying in America, USA, with his sons, both of his sons, because of him only. So thus, the influence of teacher, the impact of teacher, that too is the highest level, is much more important.
So thank you, Professor Raghu, and I think you should keep a room ready for we three of us. Me, Parveen, and Atul. We are coming to Vizag very soon.
I can come anytime. For me, it's 8 hour journey. I'll sit in the evening, morning, I'll reach.
Yeah, that will be great. Yes.
So my voice is audible, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, we can hear. So, okay, I think yes, there are no questions into the chat box also. Friends, we look forward to your blog. Kindly do go ahead with it. It is super simple. You won't find any difficulty in doing that. And means, as Atulji said, that even if you can just switch on, if you know how to switch on a computer and how to type few letters, you can make a good blog. Rest
Absolutely.
is all through practice. And as Professor Raghu Babu says, practice makes a human perfect. So you need the practice after that. So Atul, thank you so much. Yeah, again, it has been a very nice, wonderful thing. We all were so attentive that even I didn't get up from my chair. I was just listening to you. And I
Thank
was
you so much,
disturbing
sir.
you by sending some snippets into the chat.
That's completely fine. Thank you so much, sir.
Sharmaji, shall I announce tomorrow schedule time at 10 a.m.?
Tomorrow we need to.
As you wish, as you wish.
No, for me it is okay. We just need to talk to our resource person.
Yeah. That's the reason why.
And okay, so
Yes,
let's
sir.
thank Atulji and conclude the session.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much. And to everyone who attended, I hope I didn't bore you all. It was insightful. And if you have any questions, any queries, I will share the PDF of this deck with Ramesh sir and Praveen sir so they can share it with you. My email ID will be there. I'm very active on Twitter as well. So if you are there, just DM me with any of your queries and I'll be more than happy to help you. So please connect with me and I'm looking forward to seeing your blogs.
Yes.
Thank
Thank
you.
Thank you
you.
so much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Thank
you,
you so much, sir.
Sharmaji.
Yeah.
Thank you, Parveen.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Thank you.
All the participants who have attended. Thank you very much.
So, Professor Raghu, have you logged out?